Those days. I remember those days.
Hello, Vinyl community. This is Tommy, and welcome to today's musical adventure. Today's musical adventure is a bit of a response to a discussion that was started by Dixieland Farm, one of the old school, long-time vinyl community members. And it was responded by Mean Mr. Mayo, who is by and large probably considered to be one of the people who, as far as Beatles channels are concerned, one of the leaders. The response is to this other YouTube channel that it all started with another YouTube channel who has been around about a year and a half. It's garnered, I think they've garnered about 150,000 subscribers, and I mean, just, you know, a lot of content. And so it's sort of, I think it perturbed Dixieland Farm, and you could go back and watch his video and like I said, Joe's response. And I just wanted to weigh in as well. And so some of you, this may be your first time here. You may be like, well, you know, I like getting in on the dirt. And if it is, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do it. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit too, because to talk about numbers. And I'm going to give a few video shout outs, video channel shout outs to some people. And let me just start by saying, I mean, the general question is, someone appointed themselves as a leader in the vinyl community. It was self-appointed. And the vinyl community, from what I understand, goes way back, even beyond maybe even YouTube. And it started as a small group of folks. And it, as YouTube came along and people started making content, it creates this whole question, and Mayo talks about this a little bit in his video, Content Creators, Music Community. What is the vinyl community? You know, the vinyl community for me, when I started making videos several years ago, was about talking about records and artists and music. And some people a few years ago made a decision to start calling it the music community. And there's a wide variety of channels out there, and people do different things. Now, you know, my channel, you know, when I started making videos, I think around 2016, and decided to jump in and start making videos, you know, it was fun. And I kind of made a deal with myself. I would make videos for the fun of making videos and nothing more. And I've always maintained that sort of attitude toward my channel. I've never gone after numbers. I've never been about, you know, any of that stuff. And there's probably only going to be 50 people that watch this video. But, you know, and that's fine, because I've always said I just want to make content that I'm happy with. I've never kind of thought of myself as anything other than a guy who really, really loves music, who loves collecting records and listening to records. And this is an outlet for me to talk about it. Narcissism, whatever you want to call it, is what it is. Now, if a few people dig what I'm offering or what I have to say or insight, that's fine. Like I said, there is a variety of channels. There's some channels where guys and girls show the most obscure, out there stuff that they possibly can. There are some channels that are very, 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 what I would call mainstream. The records they show are sort of like, you know, stuff that everybody sees. And I think I tend to fall more into that category. I don't show a lot of ultra rare, hard to find records. I have a few of those and I have shown them, but I don't think that's what my channel's about. If you've followed my channel, most of my stuff and most of my content leans toward people you've probably heard of. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I think everybody kind of finds their group in the vinyl community, whatever that means at this point, vinyl community. I think, you know, someone commented on one of the videos, said, I thought the vinyl community was, someone said vinyl community and they hashtagged it and that's what it was. And so I don't think there's any gatekeepers or anyone. I think that most of the people that make videos, content creators, if you will, encourage other people to make videos. I know on my channel, I've encouraged people to start making videos. And you know, watching some of these videos, like Mean Mr. Mayo, he is one of the channels that, and I've said it on this channel before, that sort of brought me into the vinyl community as far as, oh, somebody making videos talking about records. Now, I did a couple of things. The first thing, and going back to what I was saying about, I've always wanted to make content that I just would find interesting, and hopefully you would find interesting. I've done my Third Man vault unboxings. That's kind of a regular feature here, a lot of stuff. But what happened was, several years ago, I moved. And in the process of that move, which was about a year, I took a year off from making videos. Now, I did a side channel right before that called Daily Records. That channel is still out there. I did a record every day for a year. And, you know, there were little short 5 to 10 minute videos where I've basically highlighted a record. And that was a lot of fun. It was a challenge to do a daily video. My hats off to you daily vloggers out there that do it every day, and it's a grind, because it really was a grind for me to do that. And it was a challenge, and I felt like I met the challenge, and I had fun doing it. I've not really thought about going back and doing it again, because I learned in that year that daily vlogging is not something that I can do. Some of you, most of you probably have day jobs. Most of you have other things that you're doing. And so for me, that's certainly the case. And, you know, if I had time to just devote to making a daily video, I absolutely would do it and would love to do it. I love doing these videos. That's the whole thing. And so what happened was, my channel when I first started was growing and growing and growing and growing. And then I took that year off, basically stopped making videos for about a year. And I think there were 1 or 2 in there, like some record store day things. But for the most part, I stopped doing regular content. And the growth of my channel pretty much stopped. Now, I rebranded. I came back as, you know, and thought that what I would like to do is more like take you guys to record stores, take you to musical sites, you know, visit these places, because I love to travel as much as I love music. And so going to these places and these historic places was kind of a big deal. What I discovered was I was spending a lot of time editing and doing the content on those videos. And if you look back at my channel, those, like, historically are not the most viewed channels. Now, again, I'm not most viewed videos. Sorry. Now, again, I'm not talking about numbers. I'm doing this for the fun. If an adventure strikes me tomorrow, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to record it, and I'm going to put a video up. But my favorite videos that I've done, my favorite content, is the stuff where I've been out and about on the road. I feel like there are channels like James Griffiths, who he's able to talk about records in a way that is fresh. You know, I enjoy what he has to say, and he has good insight. And so his videos where he holds up a record and he talks about that record is far better than anything I could ever do. And I'm not, it's just, that's not me being kind of humble. It's just the way I feel. I love music. I love listening to music, but sometimes the words that I want to describe a record just are not there for me. And like I said, there are lots of channels where guys do that a lot better than I do. And like I said, James is a great example of that. If you haven't subscribed to James, do so. You've got guys like Matthew Street and Mean Mr. Mayo, who do very specific type of content, in that, you know, they're known as the Beatle people. And of course, my good friend, I'd be remiss without mentioning him, is Beatle Brad. Beatle Brad does an interesting channel, and the thing is, he shows things that are interesting. Now Brad's channel probably is less vinyl community and more collector community or Beatle community, because he shows things like Beatle hairspray, and I mean, he is a collector. And so that shows, and I think I did a video a while back on collectors versus music people or whatever. And I'm in the middle. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm a hardline collector, but I am a music guy. And so getting the records for me are about, enjoying the music first and foremost. I'm not a collector in the sense that I've got to have, every variant of every record that's ever been out there. And I'm not knocking those of you who are. I think if that's what you want to do, then do it. I don't understand this side notion of knocking someone for someone they love. Look, I didn't buy the 3-inch Beatles record store day thing. Not because I'm not a Beatles fan. I just didn't want it. And it's a collector's piece. But look, if you're a grown person and you're making your own money and you want to buy that, great. And thanks for showing it to me. It's cool to see. So you're never going to come on my channel, or you're never going to hear me making videos where I'm going to be like, that idiot bought this though, It's not going to happen for me because I just choose not to go that route. To each his own. Music is subjective, right? But I like to hear reviews of the actual quality of the music, to hear insight about artists that I'm interested in or might be interested in. That's kind of what I do. But I killed my channel by taking a year off, and I freely admit that. I think that whatever growth or whatever snowball I had when I came back as the adventure channel, I think the growth just stopped. Now, shorts have helped, and my shorts are basically the same thing that I would do when I do social media posts. This is the record I'm listening to. Here it is. And so I've enjoyed doing that. And I know that those tend to get a lot of views and a lot of folks hit that. But I'm not doing it for numbers. I know you're probably going, well, it sounds like you're doing it for numbers. I'm not. It is frustrating. I'm not going to lie. It's frustrating if I put my heart and soul into an adventure video and 6 people watch it. I know that the last few videos that I've done, they just don't average a lot of views. And my content has been probably painfully slow this year. I've not done many videos. Last year, I made a very concerted effort to content. Steve Carlson is someone I would call a leader in the vinyl community. Steve Carlson does regular content, and he will tell you that's why his channel does so well. And why he's built the following he has is because he does do regular content. I think that's one of his tips. He did a tip video a while back where he talked about that. And Steve is a super nice guy. He has really interesting taste in music, and so his videos tend to be pretty interesting and entertaining. And so again, he's figured out the formula to grow his channel. I've not figured that formula out. I've not. You don't ever come to me and ask me, well, what do I need to grow my channel? Because I will probably be the example of what not to do. I feel like, I go back to, I make the content that I want to make, and I put it out there. And if you enjoy it, that's why I always tell people, if you know someone that might be interested, share the video with them. Because it does. I do appreciate the growth. It would be nice. I know people that do YouTube full time, and it would be nice if I could afford to do that, but I don't see that in the cards anytime soon. But I've been very lucky in that the people that I've encountered on this adventure have become what I would consider lifelong friends. If I never made another video after this, if I stopped making YouTube videos and never did another one, I feel like I've made some friends that will be friends anyway. And I've mentioned some of them here. Another one whose channel is just growing and growing and growing, and he's been pretty steady with his content, is my friend Sam St. John. You've seen him here. We've become very good friends. He recently did a Monkees video where he talked about my Nesmith content, which I'm kind of proud of, that I've done some Nez content here in the VC. But I'll say that, Sam makes a lot of videos. I mean, he does a lot of content, and he's very consistent about the content he creates. And I'm glad he has the energy and the time to do that. I think it's wonderful. My thing with Sam is that Sam has a passion for music, and I love that his passion comes through in his videos. Like if you watch one of Sam's videos, you can kind of feel that. I love his series on why I love whoever. The recent one was the Monkees, and he explains his relationship with those bands. I think that that stuff is infectious because it's cool. It's cool to hear why people love something. I'm always a big fan of those types of videos, even if I have no interest at all in the artists that they're talking about. If they have that passion for what they're talking about or that love, and that comes through. There was a thing on VH1 several years ago called That Metal Show, and it was four guys, Eddie Trunk being one of them, talking about heavy metal music. Heavy metal music's not a genre that I have like an affinity or love for, but I loved watching that show because those guys had a passion for what they were talking about, and I thought it was cool. But again, you know, what's a leader in the VC? Here's the thing. I don't know. I don't know what a leader in the VC is. Somebody that's been here a while. I get the frustration. I totally understand the frustration of somebody coming in, dropping in, and making videos, and all of a sudden having, you know, 1 million subscribers, and you've been around for, you know, 20 years doing this. I totally understand that. I understand the frustration. I've watched channels that started off where somebody had like, you know, 2 CDs and a record, and all of a sudden they've got a bigger record collection than I am. And I'm not going to get into the girls and guys things. I get it. People like looking at attractive girls, especially in the VC, and I'm not knocking it. There are a lot of ladies in the VC that I enjoy. I think they're nice people. And you know what? That comes into one of those things where they're doing what they love just like I am. You're not going to hear me knocking it. Now, I have joked about having like my wife come into my music room and start a channel, and I imagine she probably would get 8 times the number of subscribers. You know, and my wife has no interest in talking about music on camera. But you know, having said that, you know, it is what it is. I mean, we can be jealous about it. It's frustrating. I get it that, you know, when you're pouring your heart into something and you feel like, you know, nobody's watching it. You know, I don't know. And I've toyed with the idea of just, you know, shutting my channel down altogether, not really making an announcement about it, just stop making videos. And a lot of people have done that. I have watched people in the vinyl community that have come and gone. There are people, and he mentions it in his video that were there at the beginning that don't make videos anymore. And that's fine. That's a personal choice. I've made a couple of friends that again, lifelong friends, I feel like, that don't do video content anymore. I wish they would, but they don't. And so that's on them to do what they want to do. We all have our lives to lead, and so be it with that. You know, and I mean, YouTube has just become, and I think another reason like my channel growth probably stopped or slowed down is that in that year that I took off, whatever growth that I was experiencing or seeing, I think a lot of that was just, there was a boom there. And then more and more and more and more people started making quote unquote vinyl community videos. And there's a lot of channels out there. There's a lot of content. And another thing I think Steve will tell you, Steve Carlson will tell you, is that, you know, to interact with the people. Now, if you comment on my video, I'm going to respond. I've made it a point to do that. But I will be the first to admit that I am absolutely guilty of not watching other videos like I probably should. I think the interaction is there. There are a few channels that I do try to watch and keep up with on a regular basis. But I'll be honest with you guys, if it's down to me sitting and watching channels all day or listening to records, I'm opting for the records. That's just me. And so again, it's a time issue. You know, if I had a job or something that allowed me to watch videos on a regular basis, I probably would watch more content. And I get that if I'm popping up on other people's channels commenting, it's probably going to lead people to my channel. And so again, if it's a numbers game, I mean, everybody plays the numbers game to a degree, but I'll be honest, it's hard for me to watch everybody's videos, and especially people that do a lot of content. And so I've tried to make my content, at least when I do a video, that it is something that I feel like is important enough to do a video on, or, something that I would really want to share with you guys. And so I've tried to be very conscientious of that. I don't think you guys need me doing a video every other day talking about everything. There are channels that do it better than I do. I'm not a news channel. So whenever music news comes out or somebody announces a release, I'm not coming on here going, hey, did you hear that? So-and-so's putting out this record and here we go. I'll do the record store day videos. Someone actually commented, because I usually do a live stream where I go down the list, and someone commented like, all you did was read the list. I'm like, it's a live stream. It's supposed to be interactive. And so, yeah, I mean, it wasn't designed to be like, content. And again, being conscientious of being a content creator. We're all content creators. If you're putting videos on YouTube, even if they're shorts, you're a content creator. No matter how you classify yourself, you're a content creator. So my thing is, you do you, and let other people do them. I mean, like I said, there's a variety of channels, a variety of tastes, a variety of folks out there doing things. And so, I'm not going to come to your house and force you to watch my videos or to subscribe. I appreciate all the support that I've gotten over the years, and I'm going to continue to do what I want to do. The content here is going to lean toward my taste. And if I'm wrong about something, I'll say I'm wrong about it. Whatever the VC is, whatever you classify the vinyl community as, it's as much or as little as you want to make it, I think. And I appreciate the elders, the people that have been around a while. I appreciate their insight into it. I understand the frustration about watching, somebody burst into this thing, and they their content is good. I gotta say, it's well produced. They've done a good job, and I get the frustration of like when you get the industry guys that come in and they're dipping their toes into the water, and meanwhile we're out here like the working class, like we're just trying to do the best videos we can. Again, it's all part of that, but that's all I've got on this rant. I probably have ranted way too long. What are your thoughts? You can comment down below. Go back and watch those other videos. I think that everyone's insight is unique and interesting. And my thing is, if you're going to be part of a community, however you want to classify it, whether it be a vinyl community, a music community, or a YouTube community, I think it's important to highlight the word community. I think we should build each other up. I think we should be positive to each other. Because, I mean, for every one of us that's out there making a video or trying to create content for people to watch, there's probably 10 other people that are not doing it for whatever reason. And hopefully they get something out of it. I hope that when you watch my channel, that my videos are informative and maybe can help point the way to something that maybe you didn't. I think that's kind of the cool thing about music. Is I've learned about some cool music through other channels here, and so I'm grateful for that. And so anyway, I'm going to cut this off now. Thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed to my video, I always say this. It's like, it's not about numbers, but please subscribe to the channel. I think we all love to, have the subscribers. It's good to do. And hey, look, if you never watch another video of mine, that's fine too. But go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Comment. I will respond to your comments. And enjoy doing what you're doing. Enjoy the music. It's all about the music first and foremost. And if you're enjoying the music, then you're doing what you're supposed to do. So anyway, that's all I've got on that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.